Breaking shock. Michael taken into custody after Alexis uncovers the truth. Poor Charles was already on edge, but no one was prepared for the stunning chain of events that unfolded when Alexis Davis finally stepped forward with information she had been quietly piecing together for weeks. What began as a routine legal maneuver quickly spiraled into a moment that would change several lives forever, especially Michael Corinthos's. For days, whispers had circulated around town that something wasn't adding up. Financial records didn't match timelines, statements conflicted, and more importantly, people close to Michael had started to notice the weight he carried, the kind that doesn't come from stress alone, but from secrets that refuse to stay buried. Alexis, known for her sharp instincts and relentless pursuit of the truth, had been reviewing documents related to an ongoing investigation that had stalled without explanation. At first glance, nothing seemed unusual, but Alexis had learned long ago that the smallest detail often revealed the biggest lies. And this time, one detail stood out like a warning sign. A transaction date, a signature, a decision that placed Michael at the center of everything. Rather than confronting him directly, Alexis did what she always does best. She waited, she observed, she listened, and slowly she began connecting the dots. Meanwhile, Michael was unraveling. Those closest to him noticed the change. His patience wore thin. His reactions were sharper. Conversations ended abruptly, as though he feared saying too much. Willow sensed it. So did Carly. Even Sonny, despite years of experience reading people, struggled to reach his son. Michael insisted he was fine. He insisted nothing was wrong, but his silence told a different story. The tension finally exploded during a legal hearing that was supposed to be procedural, quick, controlled, and uneventful. Alexis entered the room, calm but determined, carrying a file that held more than paperwork. It held answers. As the proceedings began, Alexis requested permission to address the court. Her voice was steady, but the room fell silent. Everyone could feel that something was coming. She began by outlining inconsistencies in the case, facts that had been overlooked, timelines that didn't align, and decisions that had been deliberately obscured. Then she turned her attention directly to Michael, not with accusation, not with judgment, but with facts. Each sentence tightened the air, each revelation pulled the focus further toward him. Michael tried to remain composed, but his expression betrayed him. His breathing shifted, his eyes darted. He knew what Alexis was doing, and he knew he couldn't stop it. Alexis revealed that key information had been intentionally withheld, not out of malice, but out of fear. Fear of consequences, fear of hurting the people he loved, fear of becoming the very person he'd always tried to rise above. The courtroom erupted into murmurs. Carly stood frozen, Willow's face drained of color. Sonny clenched his jaw, saying nothing, but hearing everything. Alexis wasn't finished. She explained how Michael's actions, while complicated and emotionally driven, directly impacted the outcome of events that followed. He hadn't acted alone, but he had made choices that now demanded accountability. The moment the authorities stepped forward felt surreal. Michael didn't resist. He didn't argue. He simply closed his eyes. The weight he'd been carrying finally collapsed into reality. As he was escorted out, his gaze met Willow's. No words were exchanged, but everything was said. Regret, love, apology, fear, all wrapped into a single look that would haunt them both. Outside the courtroom, Port Charles buzzed with shock. How had it come to this? Was Michael protecting someone or himself? And how much of the truth was still hidden? Carly demanded answers, confronting Alexis privately. The exchange was tense but restrained. Alexis made it clear this wasn't personal, it was necessary. Justice couldn't bend even for someone she cared about. Sonny, on the other hand, took a different approach. He visited Michael quietly, away from the chaos. No threats, no lectures, just a father sitting across from his son, trying to understand where everything went wrong. Michael finally spoke. He admitted that his intentions were never harmful. He believed he was preventing something worse. He believed silence was the lesser cost. But as time passed, that silence became a prison. Sonny listened, his expression unreadable. Intent doesn't erase impact, but owning the truth is the first step forward. Back in town, opinions were divided. Some believed Michael was a victim of circumstance, pushed into impossible decisions by a legacy he never asked for. Others believed his privilege had shielded him for too long, and this moment was overdue. Willow struggled the most. Torn between loyalty and morality, she questioned everything she thought she knew. Had she missed the signs? Had love blinded her? Or had Michael been protecting her all along? As days passed, Alexis continued her work, ensuring the full truth would come out, not just Michael's part, but everyone else involved, because she knew this wasn't a one-person story. It never was. And just as it seemed the fallout had reached its peak, another twist emerged. New evidence surfaced, evidence that suggested Michael wasn't the only one who made critical decisions behind closed doors. Someone else had influenced the chain of events more than anyone realized, and that person was still free. Port Charles braced itself, because Michael's arrest wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of a far more dangerous truth. Secrets were cracking, alliances were shifting, and once again, the truth threatened to destroy everything.